Hello, guys, and welcome to episode 3 of the Generator Rex podcast. Today, we're going to talk about episode 5 and episode 6 of Generator Rex. And maybe, if this podcast ends up being short enough, I'll also do a bonus third episode this week. I don't know. You know what I mean. By the end of this podcast, if there's enough extra time, I'll review a third episode, breaking my record of only doing 2 episodes per podcast. Alright, let's get started. Alright, I just watched episode 5 of Generator Rex, The Architect, and wow! This was a great episode. Oh my god, the show is so good. This episode's so good, I might have to watch it again after this recording. My god, it was so good. Alright. So, in this episode, once again, Rex runs away from Providence like he always does. And, he finds this secret hidden place that is being cloaked by an invisible force field right after he fights some evos that were tearing apart these construction workers. We then find out that the secret place was working to build a tower that will supposedly make the future better or whatever. I'm not sure exactly what the people were thinking it was going to happen, and that kind of ambiguity is, of course, a theme throughout the whole episode that nobody knows what's really going on. Nobody questions it. Nobody. It's just odd, you know. Yeah, it really makes me wonder if they actually thought this tower that they were building to make sure they have a better future was going stop the creation of evos and whatever. That's what I would like to think that they were thinking, but it's never really stated. Anyway, so yeah, Rex just finds this one beautiful place in the middle of the desert that's full of tons of greenery and nice places, and it just looks like a nice place to live. And Rex gets to eat dinner at a table with the family. Something he doesn't have because he has amnesia, so he doesn't remember his parents or anything. Anything before Providence and the Nanite event. So Rex finally gets to experience what it'd be like to have a normal life really in this episode. Yeah, sure, we had the beach episode previously, but this is really it. And then, of course, it comes together at the end of the episode where, Rex is now eating dinner at a table with his family at Providence with Six, Holiday, and Bobo, who cooked the dinner. why would Bobo cook it? He's a monkey. He'd get hair all over the food. How big was his hairnet? Did it cover his whole body? Let me tell you something, that thing was really itchy. Anyway. Yeah, that was a great way to end the episode. But yeah, so this tower is what the people were building this tower for this guy named the Architect, which nobody knows anything about him, but they don't question him because if we go inside this place he's trying to let them build, if anybody goes inside of there, their lives are ruined. Oh no. And of course, since Rex is, Kamina from Gurren Lagann. He, of course, questions the architect. And, yeah, this episode just it's kind of like, that one episode of Gurren Lagann when they go into that one village that's being run by that one guy who, was very strict on his policies and stuff. If you guys seen Gurren Lagann, you know what episode I'm talking about. The one with the black and white color scheme and all that. If you've seen Gurren Lagann, the best anime ever. Someday I'll probably make a top 5 anime videos, a top 5 anime list, but whatever. It's overdone. So it doesn't matter. Anyway, so yeah, Rex is questioning him, but everybody else in the village was telling Rex to stop, quit it. If you do that, everything will be ruined. Oh no, Rex, don't do it. And then of course Rex does it, because he has to know. If this is going to affect the nanites, then it's super important to him because he's made out of nanites. He controls nanites. He's the only one who can do that. But yeah, here we find so Rex goes inside the building and finds out that it's being controlled by an AI named Zagares, which if you read the M-Rex comic that Generator Rex is based on, you would know that Zagares is based on the main villain of that 2-issue comic series, the Evil Blenders. So yeah, in the comic that Generator Rex is based on, Rex fights evil blenders that want to wipe out humanity. And Zagares is basically the same. It only cares about itself, wants to be alone, so it wants to eradicate all the nanites, which ironically it can control. So yeah, it just wants to get rid of the nanites even though it can control them. So when the antenna at the top of the tower is complete, it'll set out a death wave code to wipe out all of the nanites in the world, cause them to blow up. And of course, since every single living thing in the Generator Rex universe is filled with nanites, they're gonna blow up inside of everybody, killing everyone. And Rex is gonna say no to that. So he gets out his smack hands and smacks the place up. But he's not. But unfortunately, if he gets too close to the computer, it causes Rex machines to blow up because it controls the nanites, So yeah, So Rex works with all these normal people, construction workers, to stop all of this from happening. It's not just Rex doing it by himself, and Providence isn't here to help him either. Instead, he's working with the average construction workers that help cause this mess. They're working to stop it with Rex, and it's cool. It's just this really cool moment when everybody realizes that Rex is right and nothing and all this that we've been doing is wrong. So it's time for us to get out our handy dandy laser guns and shoot all these robot architects. And yeah, it's so awesome. It was a great moment. This episode is awesome. Oh my god. It's such a good show. This show, it's so good. Oh my god. It's so good, guys. The show is so good. Yeah, honestly, if you don't like Ben 10, I would still recommend Generator Rex. This just so good. Oh my god. So, yeah, I believe I talked about everything now. I talked about the great ending. I talked about Zagares. Well, there is one more thing. I really liked how, whenever Rex destroyed the tower, it's like Zagares still sent out a signal clearly, which explains how it, spoilers, later returns in future episodes. But then, like, right after that happens, then the construction workers talk about the how Zagares has left their computer system, so it's now somewhere else. But don't worry, it'll be harmless. So yeah, they basically spoiled the fact that it was going to return in the future episode. So it doesn't matter if I say it or not because they said it. Anyway, this episode's great! And yeah, you don't even need to watch any of the previous Generator X episodes to enjoy this one. It's that good, guys. Watch this episode. Watch it. Watch Generator X. You guys, watch it. Oh, it's so good. And yeah, I'm so happy to be talking about Generator X now and watching the show again because Kuro, the artist, I'm a very frequent visitor on his Discord, and he just added like a Generator X channel on there for Generator X discussion. So it just got me so hyped. Record this video already, and it's only Monday. Saturday is still a long ways away, but I'm already recording this next podcast because I love this show and I just want to talk about this show. I just was in the mood to watch the show. Alright, now it's time to watch the next episode. So I just watched episode 6 of Rex, the Generator. And it was Frostbite. So a lot of things happen in this episode. It just adds to the world of the show. It makes the main character more interesting. And it's all good. It's a good episode. The last one, does outshine this episode a little bit, but there are certainly things that this episode also does that it's great. By the way, when I talked about the last episode, did I really talk about the fight between Rex and the architect when they were fighting inside the tower? The architect was using a giant hammer, and it was bigger than Rex's sword. It was awesome. That fight was awesome. And yeah, this episode is also very awesome. Okay. So we found out what happens whenever Rex really cures Evos. First he deactivates the nanites the nanites inside the Evos. Whenever an Evo is created, then, every single living being in the Rex universe has nanites inside of them, and every once in a while they start to go active. Most of the time nanites are deactivated within people, but when they go active, that's when they go Evo. And Rex has the ability to deactivate nanites, but the deactivated nanites also get stored inside of him. So every once in a while, when he gets filled up with too many nanites, he starts to overload. And I remember in the commercial for this episode, they were talking about how Rex is overloading. Oh no, it's bad. Oh no. Anyway, so Rex at the beginning of the episode fights a bird guy, and everybody's already panicking over at Providence, Rex, you're about to overload. Don't do this. And Rex is like, nah, I'm not going to really let this bird guy continue to tear apart this city. No, I'm going to cure him. So he cures him, which I think's so good. Like, oh, I cured him. Don't worry, I got everything under control. Oh, no! Then we get some real body horror. With like all this technology just bursting out of Rex. Oh, it's disgusting. We even see it like try to. We even see some like cables come out of him trying to connect with the ground, but he's on top of a building. Like, oh my god, like they're trying to burst out of Rex because it's just got so many. Oh my god, it's awesome. Yeah. Anyway, so of course now like everybody's like in super panic mode. Let's get Rex to Paradise Base, which is apparently where he goes to offload all of his nanites into this big tank. So, yeah, they remove his nanites at this base and upload it into the tank. Just, why did I repeat myself? I don't know. Anyway, so, yeah. When he gets there, this one guy is telling them, hey, you weren't supposed to be here for another 2 weeks. Get out of here. He's super angry and all that. And of course, if he wants to keep his job, he better listen to the Dr. Holiday or else he'll get fired. So he still refuses no matter what. Even whenever Bobo and Six start like triggering him with the weapons, like he's still bitter about the whole thing and he doesn't want to back off. And of course we later get the reason why. It's because today's the day when Beowulf and Salamander show up to get Rex's offloaded nanites from the tank. So he's been making a deal with Van Kleist and the pack to I forgot to turn off my air conditioner. So yeah, he's been making deals with Van Kleist and the pack to like sell off Rex's offloaded nanites because Van Kleist is paying top dollar for all the nanites. You know, because he needs nanites. He like at this point in the show, didn't get that spoil something, but like Van Kleist just eats nanites. He feeds on them, and he also like controls them. Like where Van Kleist lives, there is nanites all covering the soil and the trees, so he can control the plant life around him. And yeah, Van Kleist is super cool. So he needs Rex's nanites. He needs that taste because the taste's so good. He needs all those nanites that keep himself going. You know? So, yeah, Van Kleist has been making deals with this rogue Providence agent to get himself the nanites. And so now we get to the part where Rex is getting the nanites offloaded, and they have to gas him in order to make sure that he doesn't activate any nanites while they're offloading him. And during the gas, he gets a weird dream that is clearly not just a dream, but actually happened in the past. Flashbacks. Oh my god. So yeah, that was really cool. I really like that scene. It's definitely one of those scenes where when you know the story of the show, it's really fun to look back on it and see how it adds to the lore and to Rex's past and all that. It's really cool. The show has a lot of rewatch value. Anyway, so yeah, Rex wakes up and all the Providence agents are knocked out because the rogue agent has knockout gas, so he knocked everybody out. so nobody would know that he secretly was making a deal with Beowulf and Salamander. By the way, Salamander is totally a ripoff of Diamond Head. Anyway, so yeah, Rick, like right now the base is empty, and Rex doesn't see anybody that's awake, so he goes outside looking for his friends, and then oh no, Salamander and Beowulf are right outside, so it's time to fight the pack. And yeah, he traps them in some snow at some point, and then he goes back inside, finds out that that one agent that's working at Paradise Base is bad. By the way, did I mention that Paradise Base was in the middle of like the Arctic? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he tries to knock out Rex with the knockout gas, but apparently Rex's nanites just happens to make him resistant to knockout gas. Okay, that was just came out of nowhere. It very much reminded me of the scene in Incredibles 2. Spoilers for Incredibles 2. Hopefully I'll put a timestamp so you can skip ahead. But there is a scene in Incredibles 2 where the screens, like, we found out who the screenslaver was, and immediately she got her goggles onto Elastigirl, taking mind control of her as soon as the bad stuff happened. Like, the bad reveal happened. Yeah, that scene was way better because, like, Rex could, like, in this episode, Rex just immediately gets up right after he gets knocked out. But in Incredibles 2, like, it's a big plot point in the movie. And yeah, Incredibles 2, really good movie. Go watch it, you guys. I didn't get to review it or solo because I was trying to force myself to not make content, to focus on making that Ben 10 Alien Force review that'll never get finished. Oh, maybe someday. Not this week, though, guys. I'm not going to work on it this week. I'm working on top 5 list this week. But none of that will matter because this will be released at the end of the week. Who cares? Anyway. So, yeah, Rex gets up, stops the guy. The guy locks himself in a room. Rex frees his friends that were trapped in a room. Bobo immediately goes and grabs this money that he was trying to get earlier in the episode. That was funny. Anyway, so, yeah. What? I'm just trying to clean the place up. Yep. The show is so good, guys. Anyway, so yeah. Yeah, I need to pause this real quick and get me a drink because it's starting to get hot in this room. Alright. Anyway, who cares what I did? Anyway, Alright, so, the guy who was offloading the nanites now tells it, like, Dr. Holiday, like Dr. Holiday's thinking, alright, all these nanites are deactivated, so what's the point? Why are you even trying to use them? And apparently, no, he's reactivated Rex's deactivated nanites. So, because, like, you know, Van Class is going to pay top dollar to get them deactivated nanites. No, he wants them real, super active nanites, because those are the delicious kind. So he's reactivated the nanites, and he's threatening to open up the tank and release all the nanites if everybody doesn't run away. And he acts like he was bluffing. And he's like, no, guys. And when everybody left, he's talking to Beowulf and Salamander. Hey, it's alright. I was just bluffing. I was just trying to get them out of here. But now he's lost control. The tank is now overloading, and all the nanites are releasing as gas throughout the whole base. Like, he's gonna go, you better get out of here, or else you'll turn into a super Evo. And of course, since he's trapped in the room with the tank, he gets all of those active nanites that Rex has. Every nanite that Rex has ever deactivated, every single Evo Rex has ever deactivated, he is getting all of those nanites at once. So he is like a combination now. He just turns into this big mutation that just kind of looks random, but when you think about it, he is like every opponent Rex has ever deactivated, because he has all of those nanites inside of him now. Every nanite Rex has ever deactivated. So, yeah. And since Rex has clearly been an agent for Providence way longer than we've seen, he is huge. And of course, the task of deactivating him, curing him, is just impossible. That's too many nanites. Rex tries anyway to cure him, because he wants to cure everybody, of course, and immediately Rex overloads. He doesn't even shrink the guy down. I remember that he shrunk down a bit after Rex tried to cure him, but no, he didn't even change his size, because he's got so many nanites within him. They tried cutting his limbs and stuff, and immediately the nanites put themselves together. Like, we see all that yellow energy glowing throughout him every time he gets hit, because he's got so many nanites. But it's impossible. He is an uncurable monster. Like, you could try, but you will fail, because it's just too many. It's too many nanites for Rex to handle. He tries it anyway, but then he starts talking. The nanites inside of him start talking. Rex, Six hears some of it, but he doesn't really get it. And Rex just gets knocked out with his now metal backpack on his back with the overloaded nanites. And so, yeah. Eventually they just move Rex to another offloading facility, because of course Providence has more than one, and offload the nanites. And now they got some new code from this nanites, some new secret code from the nanites. I don't remember if they ever even get decoded or anything. I don't know if that's ever even brought up in the show again. It probably is. I just don't remember. But yeah, it's just a cool episode. We found out so much more about Rex, like how his powers work, and a little bit about his backstory thanks to the dream he had. And we know he's got more secrets within him that we don't know about. And of course, in a couple of episodes from now, he's going to get another big secret inserted into him. So if you haven't seen the show, I'll just leave that as a mystery. Alright. So yeah, these episodes have been good. The show is really good, guys. Go watch Generator Rex. Anyway, this podcast has gone on for long enough, I think. Yeah, let me know if you want to see a longer podcast or not in the comments below. Alright, guys. Bye.